Well, if you are not living under the rock or under any rock, you would know that about 7 months now, the case is now a popular case right now where we are having quite a number of celebrities and popular figures jumping on it. It feels to me, for some reason, it feels to me like this particular era, I think 3 months ago till now, it's like around the world we are fighting a lot of justice for so and so, and justice for so and so, and justice for a lot of people. Now, with the fight of justice for people that have been abused and all that, comes Ghana, where we are fighting for justice for a young boy called Ransford Owusu Ansa, who is a part of Siano Soccer Academy. And according to information, Ransford died a couple of months back, about 6 to 7 months back, at the Akofanoche Teaching Hospital because he was sodomized. Just in case you do not understand what sodomized means that he was sexually assaulted through the back, the back of his, yeah, day. I don't know if I can say it, but I mean, for you to understand better, he was sexually assaulted through his anal by his soccer coach. And this coach has been coaching him for the past 3 years. And for the past 3 years, this coach has subjected him to such sexual assault. And as a result, the boy died out of it because a 16 years old boy going through this for the past 3 years, that is inhumane. So recently, the case has resurfaced. People have picked it up, and then they are calling on the Minister of Gender and Child Protection Services and all that to come up, all the institutions to come together and then give this boy the justice he deserves. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy seated here to announce to you that yes, indeed, the soccer coach, Mr. Ibrahim, has been arrested. And as of now, as we're speaking, he is in police custody. And just so that we know the truth about this, I'm just going to read a highlight from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection Services. So this is an update on sexual abuse of 16 years old footballer. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has taken a keen interest in the reported case of alleged sexual abuse of a 16-year-old footballer Ransford Owusu Ansah by his coach Ibrahim Anas at the Siano Soccer Academy in Amasaman, as reported by social media outlets. Upon learning of the incident and blah blah blah, the docket has subsequently been transferred to the homicide unit of the CID headquarters by the Amasaman Dofsu for further investigation. The Ministry of Gender, Children and so you get it basically. Yes, this is a proof and confirmation that truly the soccer coach has been arrested, and hopefully he will be tried and then he would face the consequences of his actions. And I always say that this is one of the things I'm proud of Ghana for, right? As compared to other countries when they're fighting for justice, especially other African countries, Ghana, for some reason, we seem to be able to actually let these perpetrators face the consequences of their actions. So yeah, kudos to the police services and every other person that comes in place to make this happen. And I just want to round that up by saying that, you see, sometimes this is the power of social media, right? Because social media picked this case up again and helped this boy's mother to fight. Now it's become a popular case and a lot of people have jumped on it. And now the institutions are forced to actually take legal actions against this person. So imagine if there was no social media. This mother would have cried and cried and cried and cried, paid monies, and at the end of the day, the case will not go anywhere. So these are some of the positive use of social media. Now, moving on to my next case. Well, once again, if you haven't been living under a rock and you're actually in this country, you would have heard that our favorite celebrity, baby celeb, as she calls herself, she is our favorite baby celeb as of now, because right now, dear, oh, but influencers, I want to mean but influencers deal without Amabellan. Hey, who born you? A lot of people seem to like Amabellan so much, and I love her too. I think she's doing absolutely amazing out there. And there's been information. So someone tweeted that if you could go back 10 years ago, what would you change or what wouldn't you do? I'm paraphrasing the tweet. And someone came to say that, requoted the tweet by saying that I wouldn't ever have gone to CEYE, That is the Christ Embassy Youth Wing Church, and that is overseen by Pastor Enoch, if I'm getting the name right. Yes. So, and recently I saw a video of Pastor Enoch surface on the internet where a lot of people were crying, and I think I read his comment section. They were crying because he was being transferred from Ghana to, I think, back to Nigeria or something, and people were crying about it because they were not happy. They like him so much, they wanted him to stay. And a couple of days ago, he recently just got married as well. A lavish, very lavish, beautiful wedding for a man of his status. I digress. Back to the situation. So yes, after those tweets and then the records and everything, so they had a space. You know, when you do a Twitter kind of like group call or something, basically. And they were having a conversation about it, and Amabellan was one of the people on the conversation, and she mentioned that Amabellan is from a Muslim home. For context and for background understanding, she's from a Muslim home, and she mentioned that her first encounter with Christ, or her first encounter with the Christian community, was through Christ Embassy. Someone recommended, and she went to the church. So after attending the church for a while, she said she was also even handling the church's social media. So it means she's had to be a member of the church for a while to actually be handling their social media. Yeah. So she was handling their social media, and then she realized one of the things that put her off is that, first of all, she mentioned that this whole thing about miracles, she saw that someone had crutches. The person came to church. The person claimed that they've been healed. And then the next day or some days back, she saw the person with the same crutches that the person claimed has been healed from. Say, want to mean nante. Yeah, heal. Why are you still with your crutches? So that was the first red flag she had. But she said, okay, whatever, let her continue. Second red flag is that the church, they are always doing contribution marathon. Just say, they'll come and tell you that this other church or this other branch, they've contributed 50,000. So you people have to pass them. So then they'll be contributing. This other branch, they've contributed 100,000. So we have to also contribute more than them so we can beat them. There is always a challenge to beat other churches or other branches of the church. And she didn't understand that, because as church, you are here to pray to God. Why are we doing a money marathon? Why are we doing a money who surpasses who and who surpasses who? And that didn't sit well by her. Now, of course, she's trending because everyone has an opinion about what she says. Some people are defending the church and saying that they've been members of the church for 15 to 10 years now and they've not experienced no such thing. Other people too are saying that yes, of course, they've experienced it and they also left the church because of that. Other people are also saying that when they are talking about First Love and other churches, they should invite them into the conversation because they have so much to say about those other churches. So let me know your thoughts about this conversation down below in the comment section. But one thing I would say is that, you see, this thing about churches always trying to do contribution to surpass other branches or other churches, it's a thing. Let's be honest, it's a thing. It happens in most churches that have branches. And at the end of the day, sometimes I feel like some of the church members do not necessarily or exactly even know where the monies are going to, but every day they know that they are contributing money. And some churches, you go there and the whole preaching and service is all about money and money and money and money. So that is why I will tell you, read your Bible for yourself. Alright, so as the conversation is ongoing, someone came out to say that CEYC is trending, and I have been scrolling since to see something which will be a ground for their speculation. Absolutely unnecessary tweet to get engagement, and no one has said anything sensible. Amabellan girl doesn't take Christ and spiritual things seriously. Of course, they are all in a meeting inspired by the devil. How can you start a space and talk about the churches one after the other? If not inspired by Satan, then what else? What will even inspire you to start a space to talk about churches? And Amabellan responded to the person by saying that Wosofo follows Sasabonsam. So as you're calling her Sasabonsam and you're calling her Satan and saying it's inspired by the devil, she's trying to tell you that Pastor Enoch still follows her. So for all you know, your Sofo is in her DMs, but I don't mean in a negative way. I mean to say that she's handled the social media of the church before. So it means she should have been in communication with the Sofo. So obviously the Sofo following her is a normal thing. And secondly, for all you know, he's in her DM and they are probably talking about this. So when I wouldn't say Omoya Chewa, me say Obi cry a Chewa flyer. And all the idea y'all are crazy. Anywho, guys, thank you for joining today's episode of The Bench, of course. My name is Leadership, and until we meet again, enjoy your weekend, and we will be back on Monday. See you.